Town Board Committee, the whole meeting, please rise for a pledge. Roll call, please.
Bill Carlos, Second Ward.
Ann Berger, Third Ward.
Michael Safone, Fourth Ward.
Stefan Krakauer, Fifth Ward.
Ann Schurshin, Sixth Ward.
Felicia Salvatore, Town Clerk.
Jim Nelson, Attorney for the town.
Megan Clemente, Vandewater and Vandewater.
John Basin, Town Supervisor. Welcome everybody to tonight's combined Town Board Committee, the whole meeting. On tonight's agenda, first thing we have is a public hearing on historic landmarks on Route 44, milestone 345, and 345 miles to PC House. 2 is a public hearing amending Town Code Amendment, Chapter 210, electric vehicle charging stations. 3, accept the retirement of Russell Tompkins. 4, promote Detective Christopher Barnhart. 5, promote Officer Brian Southworth. 6, promote Detective Sergeant Sean Leonard. 7, promote Sergeant Jason Berger. 8, accept the resignation of Joseph Matranda of the Highway Department. 9, set a date for a public hearing, Chapter 210, 26, Salt Point Center. 10, appoint Rachel Peters to Records Management Board. 11, authorize a block party on Round Hill Road. 12, authorize a block party in Orchard Park. 13, authorize Arlington Street Fair to be held on September 17th. 14, authorize Marist College block party fireworks display to be held August 28th. 15, accept the grant award installation of a forced main line along Tucker Drive and Friendly Lane. 16, a resolution for water improvement areas for bond and a WIA grant. 17, a liquor license for Peru Cuisine Bar and Grill, 10 Ivy Rome Road. 18, file notice of claim, Gallagher versus the town. We have 2 special consents. 1 is adopt the base proportions, and 2 is to approve the circus at Poughkeepsie Galleria on September 9th to 11th. With that, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for any item on the agenda. All those in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. I ask anybody that speaks to please limit to 3 minutes. Does anybody like to speak on any agenda item?
Doreen?
Doreen? Doreen, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, am I unmuted now?
Hello, Jen.
Yes.
Okay. Is Doreen first?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I had a question on number 9. That's the town code amendment for the Salt Point Center District. So when I looked at the resolution, is this a change that's being made because of a lawsuit? Is that what that means?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, it is, Doreen.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Is there anybody else that'd like to speak on any agenda item? If not,
Yes, Jay.
go ahead.
Jay. Okay, thank you. On number 2, Jay, the EVC, there was a code amendment that apparently was.
Michelle, on this one here, Michelle, on this
Yeah.
one here, you can speak during the public hearing on this one. For these first 2
Okay.
items. Yeah, you'll have time to speak on the public hearing for those 2.
Okay, so you want other items, is
Yes.
that correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'm urging the town board to act on 185-17. And that is, a code where if the town is deceived in a significant way, that they can actually revoke an application. And, you know, Jay, it's actually on video where, I mean, Paul Leahy,
Is this an agenda item?
Probably not.
no, it's not. You guys were deceived. You were told that Verizon was bringing in antennas that were not 5G. And in fact, the 2 that were approved are part of the Verizon's 5G spectrum, as per the charts I've sent to you.
Michelle?
So it is
Michelle?
Yeah.
This isn't
Yeah.
an agenda item, so this would have to wait till the end of the meeting.
Well, okay. I
Okay.
was just told that it was any item.
Any item on the
On the
agenda,
agenda.
Michelle, any item on the agenda. The first two items are public
Okay,
hearings.
and what's on the agenda is number 2.
Yeah,
That'll be a
So
That's a
no,
public hearing, you
no.
would speak at the public
Michelle,
hearing.
agenda item number 1 and
Yeah.
2 are public hearings, and when we open the public hearings, anybody can speak to those two items in relation to those
Okay.
code changes.
Okay, so I will wait for that, as well as for the reports.
Okay,
The
yes,
reports from tax, fire advisory, and infrastructure and land use.
yep,
Would I also wait for those?
correct.
Can I comment on any of those at
No,
this time?
not at this point, no. That's at the very end of the meeting.
Okay, and that would be the end?
Yep.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you.
Jay.
Anybody else? Make a motion to resume the rules?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'd like to make a motion to move item 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to the front of the list.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Carlos.
Resolution 3, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby accept with regret the retirement of Russell Tompkins, Lieutenant of the town of Poughkeepsie Police Department, effective August 5th, 2022. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. I'd like to congratulate Russell on his retirement and thank him for his many years of service to the town of Poughkeepsie. He was always a 100% gentleman working with town hall and in the field. I think the rest of the town learned a lot from his experience over the years.
I'm gonna miss him working in the fourth ward with those college kids, I can tell you that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Number 4.
Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the promotion of Detective Christopher Barnhart to the permanent position of police sergeant at the yearly salary of $114,702.39, subject to a probationary period of not less than 8 nor more than 26 weeks per civil service law, effective August 18th, 2022. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Congratulations.
You can raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
police lieutenant.
police sergeant
Police sergeant, to the best of my ability.
And that extra money's coming out of your badge. Felicia, that extra money's coming out of your account.
Congratulations.
Be it resolved, town board, town of
Hold on.
Poughkeepsie. Oops, sorry, I thought we're done.
Yes, sign first.
Is Russ here? I don't see,
Thank you.
I don't see Russ is here. Be it resolved, town board, town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the promotion of police officer Brian Southworth to the permanent position of police sergeant at the yearly salary of $114,702.39, subject to probationary period of not less than 8 no more than 26 weeks per civil service law, effective August 18, 2022. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
Any motion and a second? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Congratulations.
You raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
Constitution of the State of New York.
that I will faithfully discharge
And I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
police sergeant
police sergeant
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the promotion of Detective Sergeant Sean Leonard to the permanent position of Police Lieutenant at the yearly salary of $124,926.12, subject to a probationary period of not less than 8 nor more than 26 weeks per civil service law, effective August 22nd, 2022, and be it further resolved that the Town Supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Congratulations.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New
that
York,
I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
police lieutenant
police lieutenant
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the promotion of Sergeant Jason Berger to the permanent position of Police Lieutenant at a yearly salary of $124,926.12, subject to a probationary period of not less than 8, no more than 26 weeks per civil service law, effective August 22nd, 2022, and be further resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Congratulations.
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
police lieutenant
police lieutenant
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Everybody's gonna lose this.
Now they'll be in mass exodus.
Who seconded that last one? Oh, sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound like it.
That was it. That was our whole crowd.
Oh my goodness.
Has anybody left?
Nope.
Because I was watching.
Wait a minute. Everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. Somebody's gotta stay.
Don't worry, Chief is coming back. Always comes back.
Okay. Back to the agenda. First item on the agenda for a public hearing is public hearing number 1. It's historic landmarks, Route 44, 55 Dutchess Turnpike milestones, number 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, and 5 miles to PC House. Make a motion to open public hearing number 1.
Second?
Anybody would like to speak to public hearing number 1? I see no one.
Nobody speak to public hearing 1 or 2? Going once? Going twice?
One. Just open
Make
one.
a motion to close public hearing number 1.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Whereas the Historic Preservation Commission of Town of Poughkeepsie has made a recommendation to the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie for historic designations for locations known as mile marker 3 miles from PC House, which is on the border property located at 779 Dutchess Turnpike between Overlook Road and Over Rocker Road, and Route 44, New York State Department of Transportation right-of-way. 2, milestone marker 4 miles from PC House, which is on the border property located at 987 Dutchess Turnpike, just north of Thomas Avenue, and Route 44, New York State DOT right-of-way. And 3, mile marker 5 miles from PC House, which is on the border of property located 1183 Dutchess Turnpike, just east of Hart Drive, and Route 44, New York State DOT right-of-way. Whereas pursuant to Chapter 126 of the Code of the Town of Poughkeepsie, a public hearing was held on August 17, 2022, 7 p.m. at Town Hall, Town of Poughkeepsie, 1 Over Rocker Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, concerning such designation. Public notice being given for said hearing, and all interested parties have an opportunity to be heard. And whereas a legal notice of public hearing was posted on July 22nd, 2022, and published in the Poughkeepsie Journal on August 2nd, 2022, whereas said action is a Type 2 action pursuant to New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, such that no further environmental review is necessary. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie hereby designates 1, milestone marker 3 miles from PC House, which is on the border of property located at 779 Dutchess Turnpike between Overlook Road and Over Rocker Road, and Route 44, New York State DOT right-of-way. 2, milestone marker 4 miles from PC House, which is on the border of property located at 987 Dutchess Turnpike, just north of Thomas Avenue, and Route 44, New York State DOT right-of-way. And 3, milestone marker 5 miles from PC House, which is on the border of property located at 1183 Dutchess Turnpike, just east of Hart Drive. And Route 44, New York State DOT right-of-way, to be the historic landmark subject to all the applicable rules and regulations found in Chapter 126 of the Code of the Town of Poughkeepsie. Be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to give the appropriate notification as required by the town code. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second? Any further questions on this one?
No, other than I think this is it. I think we're done with mile markers in the town, so this covers all of them. Oh, good.
Good.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. That brings us to public hearing number 2, Town Code Amendment, Chapter 210, Electrical Vehicle EV Charging Stations, and make a motion to open public hearing number 2.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I forgot to say the first one, please limit comments to 3 minutes. Anybody would like to speak on public hearing number 2?
Michelle, this is the one you wanted to speak on if you're there?
Make a motion.
Is there anybody else, anybody that would like to speak on public hearing number 2, electric vehicle EV charging stations?
Yeah, I would like to speak.
Go ahead.
Okay. What I noticed about the EV charging station is that there was a code amendment, and we went from a type 2 action to a type 1 action, which for me holds a lot of hope that this actually can be done. And that application was then subject to a full environmental review under CEQA. And, you know, I did take a look at that form. It is very all-inclusive, and it does speak to me that, yes, we can actually reverse some of the decisions that have been made with, you know, rubber stamping these antennas and not putting them through the CEQA process. Based on the ruling, the USDC Court of Appeals ruling, which is, you know, the court that's just subordinate to the Supreme Court, so it's a high-level court, they ruled against the FCC, and the FCC's guidelines that did not include the important review of, as I've mentioned, 11,000 documents showing evidence of harm from our FCC guidelines that are in place. So when you look at the CEQA, the full assessment, environmental assessment form, there's a lot of quote-unquote mays. So if it may impact this, it may impact that, in terms of whatever project is being looked at, I think the may is now, we're qualified to use that word based on that huge landmark historic ruling against the FCC. So I really don't understand why seeker is always dealt with, as per a class 2 type action, which just kind of sidesteps the whole seeker process. And as far as I also understand, based on an FCC's official, they have said that these antennas are all subject to seeker review, and we're not doing that as a community. So I know it's more work because, I did notice it's the seeker, the full environmental assessment, it's lots of pages, but we should not be, rubber stamping these things just because it's more work to consider
10 seconds
the
left.
environmental impact. I'm sorry?
It's,
10
10
seconds left.
Michelle.
Oh, okay. So that's it.
Okay.
Let's take a look at that.
All right, thank you,
And
Michelle.
I really don't understand why we're bypassing that altogether, especially the law is that it is subject to seeker review, all of these antennas. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on this?
I don't see anybody else.
Make a motion to close public hearing number 2?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 2. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie, pursuant to a duly noticed public hearing held on August 17th, 2022 at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall, Town of Poughkeepsie, 1 over Rocker Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, does hereby adopt the attached local law amending Chapter 210 entitled Zoning to include provisions for electric vehicle EV charging stations. And be it further resolved, the proposed local law is annexed hereto as Exhibit A and incorporated herein as if it was recited verbatim, and the words underlined to be added and the words crossed to be stricken to be deleted. The town board does direct and said amendments to be spread across the record if they had in fact been read verbatim. Be it further resolved that the legal notice of public hearing was posted on July 25th, 2022, and published in the Poughkeepsie Journal on August 2nd, 2022. And be it further resolved that the town board has previously declared its intent to act as lead agency under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, and does declare said action to be a Type 1 action under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQA. And be it further resolved that after reviewing the proposed local law and the annexed full environmental assessment form, full EAF, this board has determined that the adoption of this local law will not result in any significant adverse environmental impact, and it authorizes the supervisor or his designee to answer no to each of the questions on Part 2 of the EAF and to complete Part 3 negative declaration. Be it further resolved that a written recommendation was received from the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Economic Development dated August 10th, 2022, stating that the proposed amendment was a matter of local concern, and be it further resolved that a written recommendation dated July 25th, 2022 was received from the Town of Poughkeepsie Planning Board, in which said board recommended adoption of the proposed local law with minor edits as shown on the final version of local law attached. And be it further resolved that the town clerk notify the clerks of the surrounding municipalities of the public hearing pursuant to General Municipal Law 239NN, and be further resolved that said local law shall take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. That brings us to the end of our public hearings. The next item on the agenda is number 8.
Yes, great. Following along here. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does accept and regret the resignation of Joseph Matrando, motor equipment operator with the town of Poughkeepsie Highway Department, effective July 28th, 2022. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Best of luck, Mr. Matrando, on your next endeavor.
Whereas the Town of Poughkeepsie Town Board pursuant to a so ordered stipulation of Kenneth Peterson Real Estate Holdings Incorporated and the Town of Poughkeepsie, Dutchess County Supreme Court, index number 2019-54164, hereby proposes that certain town zoning code local amendments be made to Town Code Chapter 210 entitled Zoning, specifically 210-26C, 6 through 9, and 210-26H, 2 through 8, related to motor vehicle repair facilities, motor vehicle service facilities, and convenience stores as part of such repair or service facilities entitled Salt Point Center, SPC District. And whereas the proposed amendments are annexed here too, as Exhibit A and incorporated herein as if recited verbatim, with the words underlined to be added and those words stricken to be deleted. And the town board does direct the said amendments be spread across the record as if in fact they had been read verbatim. And whereas this action to amend zoning law is a type 1 action under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, and a full environmental assessment form is annexed here too. And whereas the town board has determined that the proposed amendment must be referred to Dutchess County Department of Planning and Economic Development and to the town planning board for review and recommendation. And whereas the amendments require a public hearing, now therefore be it resolved that 1, the town board hereby states that because only the town board can consider and adopt changes to the town code, that is the only involved agency, and the board hereby declares that its lead agency will conduct the environmental review of this matter pursuant to Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law. And 2, the town board hereby sets a public hearing on the proposed amendments for September 21st, 2022 at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter may become heard in the Town Hall, 1 Barker Road, Poughkeepsie, New York. And 3, the town board refers this matter to Dutchess County Department of Planning and Economic Development for a recommendation pursuant to GML 239M. And the town board refers this matter to the planning board for an advisory report pursuant to Town Code 210-154. And the town board directs the town clerk to notify the town clerks of each of the surrounding municipalities of the public hearing pursuant to GML 239NN. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint to the Records Management Advisory Board Rachel Peter for a 4-year term expiring on December 31st, 2025. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Be it resolved, the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application submitted by Stephen Farrell to hold a block party on Round Hill Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, from 24 Round Hill Road to 42 Round Hill Road to 45 Round Hill Road on September 4th, 2022, with a rain date of September 6, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and does hereby authorize the town of Poughkeepsie Police Department Traffic Division to close said road, but allowing access for emergency vehicles from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And be further resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby waive the open container law in the event alcoholic beverages are to be served. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions on this?
Nope, this is just a great tradition. They've done this many years.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Be it resolved, the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application submitted by Kurt Durrah to hold a block party in Orchard Park, Poughkeepsie, New York, on September 3rd, 2022, with the rain date of September 4th, 2022, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. It is hereby authorized the town of Poughkeepsie Police Department Traffic Division to close said street, allowing access for emergency vehicles from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Be it further resolved, the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie is hereby waive the open container law in the event alcoholic beverages are to be served. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions?
Nope, just another great tradition. They've done this even more years than the previous one.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Resolution number 13. Whereas the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie authorizes the annual Arlington Street Fair on Saturday, September 17th, 2022. And whereas the presence of informational displays, food vendors, handicraft, artisans, and non-profit organizations is a vital part of a successful street fair. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does not include the vendors of food and merchandise participating in the Arlington Street Fair as peddlers and hawkers. And these vendors are thereby exempt from provisions of chapter 151 of the town code. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby waive the provisions of the noise ordinance in regards to the Arlington Street Fair between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on September 17, 2022. And be it further resolved that this exemption shall apply only to the street fair celebration on September 17, 2022. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby waive all permit fees relating to the Arlington Street Fair on September 17, 2022, pursuant to the request from the Arlington Business Improvement District dated July 25, 2022, a copy of which is attached. Be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the closing of Raymond Avenue from the eastbound arterial to College View and Fulton Avenue intersection from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the Arlington Street Fair on Saturday, September 17th, 2022. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Whereas the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie has heretofore received an application from Marist College to include a firework display at their block party to be held on Sunday, August 28th, 2022. And whereas the applicant has notified the Fairview Fire Department. And whereas a certificate of liability insurance has been filed with the town clerk, naming the town of Poughkeepsie as an additional insured. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application as submitted for a fireworks display to be held on Sunday, August 28, 2022 at approximately 9 p.m. on Marist College campus at the end of Fulton Street, Poughkeepsie, New York. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any questions?
I have a question. Is this the first time they've been, they're shooting them from Fulton Street? I don't ever remember them shooting them from this location. I mean, just kind of strange that they'd be shooting them there. There is a house there, and it's kind of close to a couple houses in that parking lot.
I'm trying to see what the star movement.
End of Fulton Street.
This is right across from Home
Usually
Depot.
have a map.
Yeah, there's a map in there, but it's right across the street from Home Depot. There's a residential house right there, and they've got their building there. I'm just surprised that they'd be shooting it there instead of, usually they shoot it down on the water.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Fairview signed off on it, so it must be safe, and obviously they must have talked to the neighbors, because paper says. I mean, I'm gonna be able to see them better, but.
Right.
Well, they're probably shooting them out towards the water, don't you think?
It's just that.
It's too dry to shoot them the other way.
I hear you, but I'm just, it's just very odd, because we do have two houses on that parcel.
Yeah.
And their new building.
I wonder if
and
they couldn't get a barge or something. I don't
We
know.
can ask and find out.
I don't think they've ever shot them from there before.
No,
I was just.
I don't think they have.
But I mean, it says they talked to the neighbors, and those are the two closest neighbors, so.
Mike, the map attached shows the water plant and some Marist housing and down along the waterfront,
But this
going
should-
underneath the railroad tracks.
Well, I'm looking, well, where's my
This
map
is
going?
the last side.
That's what they're saying is the shoot, so.
I'm looking at this one. This is Champagne Hall. This is Fulton Street's here, right?
There's the shoot site.
The shoot site's way over here.
Just down by the water.
It says Fulton Street, though.
I know it does say that.
But it says the end of Fulton Street. Ours is the end of Fulton Street.
So it is down by the west, not by Home Depot
Yeah.
then?
No,
Okay.
it's down by the water.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's fine. I just didn't know Fulton went that far down.
That's why I think the asterisk is the end of Fulton.
Because it says the campus
All
is
right,
empty.
all those in favor?
Thank you.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
At a regular meeting of the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie, Dutchess County, New York, held at Town Hall in Poughkeepsie, New York, in said town on August 17th, 2022, at 7:00 p.m. prevailing time, the meet.
Come on, let him finish that one.
All right?
Yeah.
Well, we had number 15, but go on. Start that one.
Oh, we had number 15?
No,
I'll
go
do-
ahead. You
I'll
started
do
it.
15.
You started it.
I'll do
I'll
15.
do 15 because there's a mistake up and down.
Hold on, where's 15?
No, he said he'll do 15.
I got it.
There's a mistake on
I got it. Whereas the town of Poughkeepsie has been qualified to receive the grant for installation of a forced main line along Tucker Drive and Friendly Lane in the town of Poughkeepsie from the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York through the State and Municipal Facilities Program in the amount of $400,000. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor and his designees are hereby authorized to execute a grant disbursement agreement and such other documents as may be required to receive the proceeds of this grant, and the execution and delivery of the preliminary application and other documentation previously delivered in support of this application are hereby ratified. So moved.
Jim, the question I have on this one is Tucker Drive and Friendly Lane is the majority of it. There is a piece on Enterprise Drive down IBM's property. There's another piece.
Okay, so then if somebody wanted to
Yeah,
amend it.
actually, we should amend, it says force main line along Tucker and Friendly, and also the replacement of a line on Enterprise Drive.
So
Make a
moved.
motion for that amendment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion on the resolution. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Okay. At a regular meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie, Dutchess County, New York, held at Town Hall in Poughkeepsie, New York, in said town on August 17th, 2022, at 7:00 p.m. prevailing time. The meeting was called to order by Jace Baisley, and upon roll being called, the following were present: Bill Carlos, Ann Berger, Jay Baisley, Mike Safone, Stefan Krakauer, Ann Shershin. Absent was Jeff Renahan. Upon resolution attached as Exhibit A and incorporate herein, as to which the Town Board does hereby waive a verbatim reading and directs that it be spread across the record as if in fact it had been read verbatim, was offered by Ann Shershin, who moved its adoption, second by,
The phone, second. I'll second it for you.
and having been duly put to vote, the results as follows.
I'm coming.
Okay.
Councilman Carlos.
Yes, the bond resolution.
Councilwoman Berger.
Yes.
Councilman Sifon.
Aye.
Councilman Krakauer.
Aye.
Councilwoman Shershin.
Aye.
And Supervisor Baisley.
Aye. Motion passes 6-0. 16B, whereas the Town of Poughkeepsie Town Board has this day adopted a bond resolution relating to the painting and other rehabilitative work of the town's Barn Drive and Cedar Avenue water storage tanks, as well as related necessary improvements to the town's Spacking Hill Water Pumping Station. Whereas the town, in conjunction with this work, is applying for grant assistance from New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation and potentially other agencies. Now therefore, be resolved, the supervisor and his designees are authorized to execute all documents which may be necessary to advance the town's application for and to receive environmental facilities and other grants related to this work. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? Just so everybody knows, this bond and this grant application is for the 2 5-million-gallon tanks we have. They haven't been painted in almost 30 years, and the cost is well over $6 million. So we decided this is the first route we're gonna take. There's a lot of WIA money and WQIP money out there, so this is our first step to go in the bonding as part of it, because they'll pay 60% of up to $5 million. So hopefully this is what we need, because we definitely need to have these changes. This will also upgrade some of the storage area around Cedar Avenue, some pumps and some different things that they're gonna need in order to take the water out of one tank. To take the water out of one tank, they have to keep the levels level, and Cedar Avenue has to be pumped out, doesn't just flow out. So we gotta put some pumps in and upgrade some pumps down there. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 6-0. Number 17, a liquor license for Peru Cuisine Bar and Grill, 10 IBM Road. Number 18, notice of claim, Gallagher versus the town.
Be it resolved, Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby grant special consent to the following items to wit: adopt base proportions and approve Royal Hannaford Circus at the Poughkeepsie Galleria. And be it further resolved that upon the objection of any member of the Town Board, an item may be removed from the list and voted on separately. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adopt and certify the current base proportions as follows: Town homestead 56.76747, non-homestead 43.232523, town outside village 54.4 42095, non-homestead 45.57905, consolidate light 57.79704, non-homestead 42.20296, Back-Kill School 51.30219, non-homestead 48.66971, Arlington School Homestead 65.65205, non-homestead 34.34795, Wapshire School 67.28212, non-homestead 32.71788, and be it further resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adopt and certify the adjusted base proportions as follows. Town Homestead 56.09196, non-homestead 43.90804, Town Outside Village 53.73143, non-homestead 46.268557, Consolidated Light 57.16454, non-homestead 42.835546, Back-Kill School 49.53410, non-homestead 50.46590, Arlington School 66.399.12, non-homestead 33.60088, Wapshire School 67.95893, non-homestead 32.04107. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Be resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application heretofore received from Royal Hartford Circus to hold a circus at Poughkeepsie Galleria Mall, J.C. Penney's parking lot, 2001 South Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, from September 9th, 2022 through September 11th, 2022, and be further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application for said event pending receipt of a certificate of liability insurance naming the Town of Poughkeepsie as an additional insured. So moved.
Second. We have a motion second. Any questions?
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of circuses, and I can't imagine the elephants or whatever animals are thrilled about living in the Poughkeepsie Galleria parking lot, so I'm gonna be a no on this one.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes 5-1.
Resolution 817. Be resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adjourn to executive
No,
session.
we didn't do committee reports yet.
We have to do what?
Committee reports.
We have committee
Oh.
reports.
Committee of the whole. We have committee reports on finance,
It's nothing to report.
technology,
Yes, we have a report. Okay, the website had, okay, this is the month of August, and, oh, it's July, sorry. In the month of July, we had 6,000 users, 5.5 thousand of them were new users. And the favorite pages were first the main page, then transfer station, the building department, receiver taxes, and then permit applications. And on the website statistics, we had picked up 84 more users, so we have 6,139 users of the email, which is really good. And other things we discussed is there's infrastructures upgrade going on. New equipment for the infrastructure is being tested, that's the switches, and then the wiring redress is being scheduled. Verizon fiber conversion prep work has begun, and the phone system replacement has been decided on, and there's plans to have it initially cut over to the new phone system in November. And the November, the budget meetings took place, and that's it.
recreation.
Recreation, yes. We had a meeting today, and we wrapped up a successful season with our camp. We have a couple things coming up. We have a Halloween trunk or treat on Saturday, October 29th. And we have a senior trip, Villa Roma Lunch and Show on October 11th, and you can get all the details for that on our website. We'd like to thank our seniors for coordinating a donation collection for the Semper Fi parents of the Hudson Valley and making cards and putting care packages together. And we've got a lot of support from Rennie's Hair Salon in Fishkill, Senator Sue Serino, and Arnoff Moving and Storage for donating all the boxes. We have a big concert coming up, our last one of the year at Greenvale Park, Bosco in the Storm, starting at 6:30 on Tuesday, the 23rd. So please get out there and support our last concert in the park series. So Bosco in the Storm, 6:30.
Fire advisor,
Anything?
Yeah.
Nothing to report.
all right, infrastructure,
Nothing to report.
personnel,
Nothing to report.
building consolidation is still ongoing, doing our due diligence for the building consolidation. Hopefully real soon, we'll be out with some announcements. And we have supervisory report after that. Just as we know tonight, we voted on approving the $400,000 grant for Tucker Drive, which was a grant through Senator Serino's office, which will help with a clog along Tucker Drive that we're having an issue with. One of the pipes has settled down, so it took us 4.5 years to finally get that money. That came through. And in Dutchess County, we just got awarded a $100,000 grant this week for Jones Street sidewalks, which is down right across from Dunkin' Donuts on Main Street. So we'll be starting that project soon.
I did have one more thing, just I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. CJ from our Recreation Department took a certification test, and he passed it. He is now a certified safety coordinator for all public parks. You can hire him to go out and check all our parks, and he's gonna be checking ours at no cost to us. But there's only, I think, one other person in this area that's certified to go out and inspect parks. So kudos to CJ for getting that certification.
I
Yay,
agree.
CJ.
Congratulations, CJ. Yes, last one we had Tom Meyer had that years ago, because it was very expensive to have done, so Tom figured it was cheaper to go do it himself.
Yep.
Do we have anything else as far as it
I got,
Well, before we do that, a motion to suspend the rules for any item at all and have people please limit it to 3 minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody who would like to discuss any item at all?
Yes, I would, Jane.
Go ahead.
Okay, item number 2, I forgot to ask, what's the hanging chad kind of thing, is that, maintenance was not discussed. Who's gonna be responsible for maintenance for the, EV, charging stations? In terms of the tech report, I'm curious as to whether, Mike Welty, who's leading up the telecom code update, whether we're going to be getting some times so that our RF consultant, not Mike Musso, but the town's informed citizens want the crew, the telecom code update committee and the working group to meet with our RF consultant. So I was curious as to whether times would be provided quickly for that before it's completed. Also on fire advisory, again, I would hope that there would be very strict fire and electrical inspections that go on for both the 10-50 Winslow Gate Road antenna and the 9-11 Raymond Avenue antenna, understanding that the Master Association is not going to be successful in deterring liability should, something happen with this antenna, which is, it's a common thing. It's not an uncommon thing that these things do catch fire, burst into flames kind of thing. So there's that. Infrastructure, land use. I would really, I'm questioning town neglect in terms of all this type 2 actions that are approved by Paul Leahy and the rest of the teams, and that they should be relooked at because of the individual that I mentioned from the FCC that says that all these antennas are and should be under NEPA and Beaker, which they're not for our town. In addition, on the Arlington Town Fair, I was curious as to whether the 3550 megahertz tower that is right there on Raymond Avenue is going to be in full operation, because I, among probably somewhere around 20% of the population, maybe more, have become sensitive. And the ADA is actually looking into more people who are becoming sensitive to this, and without informed consent, if I don't know if this tower is in
9 seconds.
So I won't be going to the Arlington Town Fair if that thing is in full operation on the roof of 9-11 Raymond Avenue. And I think that we have a right to know. What's that?
Your 3 minutes
Time's up.
Okay, we have a right to know when that thing is going to be operational, because I need to know. I can't be there
You can
if
reach out
that
to the
thing is going to be.
You can reach out to the planning
Thank you.
department, Michelle. Thank you. Anybody else?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Larry?
Larry, go ahead.
Larry, if
Larry,
you can
do you wanna
unmute yourself?
Going once?
Larry, would you like to speak?
No? Okay. Make a motion to resume the rules? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Carlos?
Resolution 1817, be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adjourn to executive session to consider the following: the proposed acquisition, sale, or lease of real property, or the proposed acquisition of securities or sale or exchange of securities held by the town when publicity would be substantially affect the value thereof. To discuss matters which are exempt under the open meetings law, including matters subject to attorney-client privilege. And be it further resolved that no action appropriating money will be taken. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Town board is in executive session at 7:52 PM.